It's a well-known fact. Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is undisputedly one of the most successful and recommended books on personal finance and business. After having read the book in a year and coming back to read it twice more, I bring you the four most important lessons found in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Sure, you seriously don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Robert Kiyosaki was asked by Rich Dad to work for 10 cents an hour. This was in order to teach him how it feels to work for money. Eventually, he ended up doing exactly what Rich Dad had expected him to do, complaining that the paycheck wasn't enough and that he was being exploited, and most of all, he was going to quit. You see, once you begin to work for money, you begin to have fear. This fear makes you a slave to money. You keep working constantly in pursuit of that piece of paper because you believe that is what is going to solve all your problems. Eventually, hoping you don't get fired from your job, because gosh, that will be the end of you. Which is very relatable to most of us, and especially most Africans. You see, we work in a company where about 80 to 85% of us complain that our paycheck is not enough and that we'll surely quit one day. Even most end up with multiple day jobs and 9-to-1s as well. Which is partially true, but it's actually not about the paycheck. It's the fact that we have this engraved mentality that money is going to solve all our problems, and for that matter, we have to work constantly to get the almighty that will solve all our problems. On one end, I won't deny that, but it's a partial statement too. You see, Rich Dad emphasizes that most people have a price, and they have a price because of human emotions, named fear and greed. First, the fear of being without money motivates us to work hard, and then once we get that paycheck, greed or desire start us thinking about all the wonderful things money can buy. The pattern is then set. What pattern? The pattern of get up, go to work, pay bills, get up, go to work, pay bills. Their lives are run forever by two emotions, fear and greed. Offer them more money and they continue the cycle by also increasing their expenses. Eventually, Rich Dad denied the two of the 10 cents and asked them to work, this time paying them nothing. This was to teach them and force them to think on their own and create another source of income free from the work they do for him. He said to them, keep working boys, but the sooner you forget about needing a paycheck, the easier your adult life will be. Keep using your brain, work for free, and soon your mind will show you ways of making money far beyond what I could ever pay you. Eventually, once again, the boys succeeded in thinking on their own. They saw an opportunity and took advantage of it to create an income, which was a comic book library by which they charged the kids a dime for 3 hours of reading. Once again, it's actually not about the paycheck. It's the fact that we have this engraved mentality that money is going to solve all our problems, and for that matter, we have to work constantly for it. Shutting down our brains and refusing to think outside the box in order to create another cash flow outside the day job. Not working for money means reducing expenses, saving more, and investing in assets or creating another source of income outside the day job to limit your dependency. You see, the rich are rich because they generate cash flow from different sources outside the day job. The rich don't work for money, money works for them. Lesson 2. Work to learn. Robert Kiyosaki had an interview with a lady who was a very good writer, who was making so little from her craft. He then suggested to the lady to take up a sales training course, by which the lady was very much offended because she had a master's degree in English literature and therefore saw that she was too big for that course and she wouldn't stoop so low to enroll in that program. Looking at the lady and comparing the lady to Robert Kiyosaki, you realize that they are both commonly opposite. The lady was a good writer but had a weakness in selling and marketing herself alongside her craft in order to enable her to get more income. Kiyosaki, on the other hand, was a bad writer but was a very good salesman. No wonder he was tagged as a bestseller and not the best writer. A typical example is when he wrote his first book entitled it, "If you want to be rich and happy, don't go to school." This is a typical sales and marketing title, as the title was so controversial, draws attention and got him what he wanted, more sales and publicity as every businessman would want. You see, though the lady was working alright, but she lacked the crucial skill that was enough to catapult her onto a different level, and she was refusing to learn too. Back on track, Kiyosaki quoted, "I recommend to young people to seek work for what they will learn more than what they will earn." Yes, this is a valuable and uncommon opinion. Why did we get employed in the first place? basically for the sake of earning. But here is the case: Kiyosaki is emphasizing that we should prioritize learning than earning when employed. You see, once you get employed in a company, it's another big opportunity to learn new skill alongside earning a paycheck. And once you learn a new skill, your value increases as well. As even when you get fired or sacked from the job, you obtain two benefits. That's a paycheck in and a skill learned for free. Kiyosaki himself, before becoming a well-known entrepreneur, had to learn other skills along the way, such as he joined the Marine Corps to learn how to be a pilot and how to lead others through difficult situations, and also Zeros to learn how to be a salesman. Rich Dad advised Robert to be a generalist to learn a little about a lot. You see, the more specialized you become, the more you are trapped and dependent on that specialty, which means without that specialty, you're basically doomed. Now, why should you be a generalist? Let's take an example of starting a business. As an entrepreneur starting out, you're supposed to know a little about a lot, such as cash flow, marketing, production, taxes, and legal service. That's a bit about the law. But here's the case: you're so specialized in one field, the field of production. How then do you grow your business when you lack knowledge in most of the skills? With a little capital too, in order to make your business grow, you're supposed to hire an expert specialized in that particular field, which obviously can harm a small business as it's another cost on its own. Let's say you're starting out as a content creator and a solo entrepreneur with little capital. In order to grow your business alone, you are required to have a bit of knowledge in video editing, voiceovers, thumbnail designs, and channel management, this and many more. So when you find yourself employed in a company, please take the opportunity to learn a valuable skill, obtain a double benefit. You don't know where that skill is going to be needed. This is life. Learning doesn't end in the four walls of our classroom. Because even after school, life is always teaching, and we have to keep up, to learn, work to learn. Lesson 3. Why teach financial literacy? The journey to obtaining wealth is more important or equally important to wealth itself. Financial knowledge is a gradual process. It's a journey that involves a continuous learning, exploration, and practical experience. It's an endless amount of knowledge, I would say. Have you ever wondered why so many lottery winners and athletes wind up in debt even after having millions of dollars and cedis in their account? Without financial literacy, even when you are giving the whole world's money, you still end up in debt. You see, there's a big difference between making money and keeping money. Almost everyone can make money, but as the famous saying goes, many are called but only few are chosen. There's only few that can actually keep money, as this too requires a total different set of mindset and attitudes. Keeping money requires you to be more frugal, and making money is obviously the opposite. Most of us, anyway all of us, want to be rich and build wealth, but we lack financial literacy. When the foundations are weak, the building will definitely collapse. Let me tell you a secret about life. It's actually not about the destination, it's the journey. In your quest to be rich and build wealth, you develop natural financial literacy. The reason why most people have not been to college or school, but they are still wealthy. The journey provides opportunity for learning, growth, and self-discovery. As you navigate the path towards your financial goal, you gain knowledge about budgeting, investing, and financial planning. You invest, you lose them. You save, you spend, you fail, and you start afresh. All these mistakes and errors end up becoming obtained knowledge. A typical example is Donald Trump losing almost all of his fortunes in the 90s, eventually ending up in debt. But he was able to bounce back and build his wealth few years later. Another great example is the real-life TV series called Undercover Billionaire, where a group of successful entrepreneurs were made to build their wealth or a business from scratch in a remote area with little or no resources. It's a good movie and I proudly recommend it. This also explains why most lottery winners end up in debt or losing all that they earned. They've not passed through the phases of life to learn how to keep and manage money. With the little knowledge they have, it ends them up in debt. Back on track, Rich Dad emphasized that before one could be rich and build wealth, one should understand what's an asset and liability. You see, what defines an asset is not words but numbers. It depends on where the cash is flowing from that makes it an asset. Everything around us can be an asset based on where the cash is flowing from. An example is, your house can be an asset if the money is flowing from your house into your pocket. Or on the other hand, if the money is flowing from your pocket into your house, then it's obvious it's a liability. For you to be rich and build wealth, you have to be able to read numbers and understand cash flow. Where is your money coming from and where is it going? Financial literacy is the ability to make good decisions with your money. And how do you make good decisions? Most of the time you make good decisions by making bad decisions. Wealth is not built in a day. And the last lesson, mind your own business. Mind your own business simply means building your own business rather than working constantly to build someone else's. Helping someone build their business is basically your profession. What are you doing for yourself? The answer, that is your business. Rich Dad said that the reason why most people struggle financially is as a result of them working constantly to build someone else's dream. And many people will have nothing at the end of the working days to show for their effort. Whatever they have contributed or produced is the intellectual property of the company and not their own. Some way, somehow, I do completely agree with Robert Kiyosaki that the education system prioritizes scholastic skills and getting a good job. This mainly revolves around skill set and wages as well as the income column. Schools really discusses or prioritizes entrepreneurship or being a business owner. Robert Kiyosaki used real Crocs McDonald's as an example. Now, here's the McDonald's business model. McDonald's is actually not in the fast food business but in the real estate business. As a matter of fact, the former McDonald's CFO, Henry J. Cinnabon, even quoted saying, "You're not technically in the food business, you're in the real estate business," unquote. McDonald's is actually not just a brand, it's a business. It's a two-main business operating as a single business. It has two main customers, that's a customer eating food at McDonald's and a franchisee. That's an entrepreneur who buys the right to run a McDonald's restaurant. Now, this is how they actually make money. Since McDonald's owns its lands and buildings, therefore it rents out the building and the land to the franchisee, acting as a landlord to them. So, at the end of the month, if you're an entrepreneur operating a McDonald's restaurant, you have to pay them twice. That is, you pay them for using the property, which automatically, when you want to be a franchisee of McDonald's, you have to use. And you pay them another royalties for using their company's business knowledge, processes, trademarks, and the brand to offer services. Now, why did Robert Kiyosaki emphasize that we should mind our own business and use McDonald's as an example? In actual sense, Robert Kiyosaki is saying that we should keep our day jobs, but we should start investing in real assets, not liabilities. Mind your own business simply means build your assets column and make it strong. Once the penny goes inside, allow it to produce an offspring. Don't bring it out. You see, the best thing about money is that you can work 24 hours a day and keep giving birth for generations. Just like the McDonald's business model, they do not just focus on the product, their main focus is on the main business, that's the underlying asset, the real estate. So, as an individual, don't just focus on your day job, though it can be a source of capital for your main business or a source of capital to start your main business. Focus on building something for yourself, which generates an income with or without your presence. Because that's a business, so mind your own business. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell for me. And don't forget to comment as well, as it helps me to improve each and every day. Once again, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.